ሰብስቦ ግን የትኛው ይቀድማል ማን የትኛው ከትኛው ይቀድማል የሚለውን ፕራዮሪታይዝ ማድረግ ያለበት በሪጅን ሌቭል ነው። ይሄን መሰረት ያለበት ነው። ሌላው ቢልድ ካፓሲቲ ቢልድ የማድረግ ሚና የሪጅኖችና የፌደራሉ መሆን አለበት። ፌደራልና አት ሪጅናል ሌቭል የካፓሲቲ ቢልዲንግ ሮሉን በዋናነት መጫወት ያለባቸው የራሳቸውንም ካፓሲቲ ቢልድ አድርገው ቲኦቲ አሰልጥነው ያ ቲኦቲ ደግሞ ወደ ወረዳው ወርዶ እንዲያሰለጥን
And those TOTs need to go to the Wordal level to train. So regional and federal level needs to take that responsibility. And they need to do impact assessment. Different trainings are prepared and are given, but what difference do those trainings make? So they need to do impact assessment and monitoring and assessment. Has it brought a difference? If not, why not? So this kind of questions need to be raised. So the private sector involvement needs to be done here. On a federal level, the issues of policy, the capacity building policies need to be prepared for highland and lowland. The capacity building modality that is designed for the highland cannot work for the lowland. So we need to look into this in depth. So there should be a capacity building policy that focuses on the pastoral community, the lowlands. There should be training materials and curriculums developed, and these are supposed to be done by the federal level. If these things were done on the federal level, because of the skill and the excellence available on the federal level, it will be appropriate. But we should be careful that it would not be focused or designed according to the highland needs. We can't just train and then go away, but we need to follow up if that training is being used. When it comes to external support, usually it goes to finance. It goes to financial requirement. Because it was said, except financial need, knowledge and skill transfer is needed from external partners. These are repetitive to make the platforms effective. Especially, again, we need to focus on the Wordal level. A lot of roles need to be played on the Wordal level. When it comes to external support, experience sharing and technical support are what we mentioned. Question number 2 was addressed very well. How can we create accountability? Roles and responsibilities need to be defined and delegated. There need to be binding rules for those roles so that cooperation can be facilitated well. So whoever works needs to be rewarded, whoever did not work needs to be penalized. When it comes to DREAM, what is the backbone of DREAM? እርግጠኛ አይደለሁም ይህንን ትርጉም መስጠት አልቻልኩም። ድሪም ራሱን እስከ ዝቅተኛው ቦታ ማባዛት መድገም አለበት። All these modalities need to be on every level. It needs to be inclusive. So it needs to include other sectors that we did not mention, and it needs to be regular.
Some kind of periodical performance of DREAM should be there. That's what we discussed. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Taye.
አመሰግናለሁ ዶክተር ታዬ። ሌትስ ጊቭ ሚ ሃንድ።
Thank you so much.
አመሰግናለሁ።
Okay, next presenter.
እሺ እንግዲህ የሚቀጥለው
ዮሴፍ የእናንተ ቲም
ወረቀት አቅራቢ ይመስለኛል ዮሴፍ
ስለዚህ
ነው።
3 ደቂቃ 4 ደቂቃ የምንልበት ምክንያት
We are giving you 3 minutes or 4 minutes because we gave for more than an hour for discussion. That's why we do this in brief. So I'm sure you would be also do the things tirelessly, non-tirelessly.
ሶስተኛ የሚያቀርብ ሰው ንገሩኝና ላፕቶፑን
Please
አዘጋጅተን
tell me the presenter, the third presenter, so that we can prepare the laptop. 3 and 4. Whose group is that? 3 and 4. Those who discussed.
እጃችሁን ያሳዩኝና ላፕቶፖቻችሁን
Please show me your hand so that you bring your laptop here for virtual purpose.
or the colors of course ያላቀረበ ከሁለቱ ቲም ሌላ ያለ ማለት ነው።
If there is a presenter who is beyond these
ስለዚህ
two
pink
groups, those who are
pink ላይ
pink
የነበራችሁ
color,
please bring your laptop
please bring your laptop and
ሌላኛው ደግሞ
let's go
አረንጓዴ
ahead.
አይደለም?
And the other thing is, the other color is I think it's
So,
green.
Paul is green. ሌላኛው ሰውስ
So we got
pink is-
Paul is green. What about pink?
Okay, he's green. Paul is green. Pink የለም?
There's no pink?
Baden, who's pink? Are they coming? Are they coming, Baden? Okay, great. Great. We can also do that.
እየመጡ ነው
እነሱ
እየመጡ ነው። እንግዲህ እነሱ
እስከሚቀሩ
እስከሚቀሩ ሌሎቹን እንዲመጡ
Excellent.
እናደርጋለን። አንድ 3 ደቂቃ ነው ያለው። እንግዲህ ይቀጥሉበት።
እሺ፣ እናመሰግናለን።
አመሰግናለሁኝ። የኛ ቡድን እንግዲህ ቢጫ ነው።
አንዳንዶቹ ነገሮች
Some issues were already raised.
ችግር የለም። የኛ ቡድን የሎ ነው።
Our group is yellow. Most of the things were pinpointed. Those who were not pinpointed will be raised by me on the WordAs. For example, the capacities and gap analysis. We are going to see what's missing, and we go to the exchange of experience, and then again awareness, and then we're going to map what thing done, etc. And then concerning on the information management, it needs to have a training session, and we need to make the communities participate. But I think the community is essential for that on the initiative part, for information and communication equipment could support in that area, and we could support the WordAs through this. And when you come into regions, the main thing is to provide render training. So after training, we can go down through the TOT section. So training goes down to the grassroots level, and then the communication level capacity is also to be upgraded, and the strategy design and resource mobilization is the other purpose we need to do, so that it could be done in widespread areas of all. So it could go to WordAs, and then the communicating and messaging, we need to build the capacity level. What we have said externally is the experience of our best practices. We need to adopt it, and we need to take it to the grassroots level. If we have some technological assistance like GIS, drones, area photograph, etc., are needed for resource mapping or institutional mapping, so that to do that we need equipments.
ፕላትፎርሙ ፊዚብል ምንድነው?
Yeah.
ፊዚብል እንዲሆን
So that the platform needs to be feasible, we need to do a feasibility analysis, because the institutional platform needs to be institutionalized through the government structure. It should be inclusive and all-embracing. And which part is strong, what are they doing, which one is weak, etc., needs to be filtered, and we need to strengthen the strongest part, and need to be supported also by the government and others.
ቤተር ፕላኒንግ ላይ ያው የጋራ
Concerning better planning, common plan is expected. For instance, the cabinet needs to review its plans. When we go to the second,
ሁለተኛው ውረድ። ያኛውንም ያው ሌሎች አድሬስ አድርገውታል፣ ተመሳሳይ ነው ግን
so this thing is mentioned by others as well. So the team is going to be streamed, especially the GIZ. There are big institutions who can contribute to this. We need to map it,
ኢንቮልቭ ያደረጉ
and then if they come and involve in that, the capacity of ours will be increasing, so our outreach purpose will grow. Thank you.
አመሰግናለሁ። ሞቅ ያለ ጭብጨባ ለእሳቸውም ለቲማቸውም።
Thank
so
you very
Next
much.
presenter, please.
Let's go to the next presenter.
The green team. እሺ እሺ Paul, 3 minutes is all yours.
Okay, this was the green group.
እኛ አረንጓዴው ቡድን ነን።
As a general framing,
እንደ አጠቃላይ
actually that there were
አቀራረብ
some columns missing.
አንዳንድ የጎደሉ ክፍተቶች ነበሩ። ማህበረሰብ የሚለው
Also zonal.
ከዛ ደግሞ የዞኑ ደግሞ ጎሎ ነበረ። እኛ እንግዲህ በራሳችን ፈቃደኝነት ሁለቱን ጨምረናል።
According to community and then
በማህበረሰብ ወረዳ፣ ከዛ ክልል፣ ዞን እና
capacity building for coordination.
ፌደራል እንዳለ ከአቅም ግንባታ አንጻር ለማስተባበር
and local cultures.
እኛ የሀገሩን ባህሎች ማዳበር አለብን። ያሉትን የባህል አሰራሮች ማሳተፍ እንዲሁም ተቋማትን ማሳተፍ አለብን።
Second bit about community planning is we need to include community participation in planning and ask them to prioritize the development activities that they want implemented. And then for effective cooperation between the main lowland areas, this was somehow left as an open question. You know, we asked, how can we capacitate the communities to come to an honest cooperation? They may want something different than what the development actors are actually offering. So it's an open question. I go back up again. Sorry about the up and down. At the Warada level, with regards to capacity building for coordination, it was suggested that we identify the gaps. Based on those gaps, really, you know, sort of human resource gaps, provide training. Yep. Someone also mentioned here, identify priorities with communities. Okay, that should have been another column. Use strong monitoring and evaluation frameworks. Also, someone mentioned, what is cooperation? Maybe we need to capacitate our partners, ourselves, on what cooperation actually means. Making platforms effective. So here, one of the mentions was platforms of different stakeholders. It should include Kebele, community members, per project. That was one suggestion. We need to have a focal person, always a strong focal person for each platform. We also need, this is really for planning purposes actually, an online platform to see who is doing what, where, and how. The regional bureau should be responsible for filling the data, collecting it from the waradas, and support can come from the external partners for that. We also had here one, we needed to design a geospatial planning tool at warada level, which is digital, low cost, easily accessible, and has several layers. It could be agricultural, it could be livestock, and so on and so forth. So it becomes a useful planning tool that the platform can use. Also, somebody questioned about the financial system, that maybe there are too many different sorts of financial systems. We need to harmonize that. That's what I understood. Okay. Okay, who is the owner of the platform? We don't need new platforms. We have plenty of platforms. We just need to, how do I say, make the existing platforms more efficient, more effective for the purposes. Okay, here again about inclusiveness, communities need to be included. We need to start from problems. Yep. Somebody mentioned we need baseline socioeconomic data. It always needs to be constantly updated. This one was quite interesting because every time we're starting a new project, a new assessment is being done, a new baseline is being created. Why don't we have a baseline that is managed already centrally, whether the Warada or the regional level, that informs all the different projects, and it just needs to be updated regularly. Already? Okay. Okay, so I could only work on this one here. How can we hold ourselves accountable? The general consensus was that the community should hold us to account, but the big question is how. Somebody also mentioned that we need a separate regulatory and implementation institution, so one looking over the other. And some said that we need guidelines for evaluation and monitoring, government donors. So I guess here we wanted something that was harmonized. Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
ስላላስጨበጨብኩላቸው ለመጨረሻው ግሩፕ እና ለሰራው ቲም ሞቅ ያለ ጭብጨባ ባካችሁ።
The
Thank you
last
so much.
group.
የመጨረሻ ነገሮች ናቸው
Thank you.
የሚቀሩን
Now the
ማስታወቂያዎች ናቸው።
final things are
ስለዚህ
remaining. These are
ቦርዲንግ ፓስ እና
advertisements
አኮሞዴሽን ሪሲት በራሳችሁ
concerning boarding pass
ተጠቀማችሁ
and
ነገ
accommodation
ይዛችሁልን
receipts.
ፊት
Those
ለፊት
who
ሬጅስትሬሽኑ
have
ጋር
used, please
ብትመጡልን
come to the
አንደኛው።
registration is the first
ሁለተኛ
thing. Number two,
የቦርዲንግ ፓስ እና አኮሞዴሽን ሪሲት
boarding pass and
በራሳቸው የያዙ
accommodation
ሰዎች
receipts.
ስላሉ
Those of you
ነገ
who are
ደረሰኙን ይዛችሁልን
using privately these
ሌላኛው
accommodations.
ነገ ልዩ እራት አለን። ስለዚህ
Tomorrow there is
ራሳችሁን ነፃ
a
እንድታደርጉ ሌላ
dinner
ፕሮግራም
so that
እንዳትይዙ።
you don't have another program. Be free and come
ስለዚህ
back to
tomorrow
our dinner.
we will be having a special dinner. So try
ነገ
to
እንግዲህ
free
በጣም
your schedule.
ልዩ
And also
የሆነ
for those of you
እራት
who
ይኖረናል።
boarding pass and accommodation
ተዘጋጁ
receipt,
ነፃ
please make
ሆናችሁ
sure
ማለት
that you are
ነው።
bringing it tomorrow and
እንግዲህ
bringing it
ይህንን
to our
የምናደርገው
And the very important things that we keep saying again and
ለመኝታ
again,
ለብቻ
please
ያዘችውና
make sure
የትራንስፖርት
that you
ሁኔታን
are keeping
ታዘጋጁልን።
the headsets
ሌላው
on
ነገር
your
ነው
seats so that you
ያለውን
can use them
የተጠቀማችሁበትን
tomorrow.
የጆሮ
And
መስሚያ
also, if there is
እባካችሁ
anyone
ጠረጴዛ
who
ላይ
has
ተውልን፣
forgotten
ነገም
those
እንጠቀመዋለን።
headsets in your bag, please
ስለዚህ
make sure
ምናልባት
that you are
ያለፉትን
putting them.
ጠፉ ወይም ተሰወሩ የሚባሉትን ምናልባት በቦርሳችሁ ውስጥ በስተት ገብተው
የመጨረሻ
ከሆነ
የሚሆነው ነገር
እዩልን።
I would love to say
መጨረሻ
ጥያቄ
እንግዲህ እኔ
ነበረን
ማለት
ያላችሁ ሰዎች
የምፈልገው
ስላላችሁ አርብ
ጥያቄ ነበርን
ዕለት
ያላችሁ
መጨረሻው
እባካችሁ
ሰዓት ላይ
በመጨረሻው ከሰዓት ላይ
በጣም
አርብ
ቆንጆ በሆነ
ዕለት
መልኩ ሀሳባችሁን ሼር
በጥሩ
ስለምታደርጉ
ሁኔታ ሀሳባችሁን
ማቅረብ ፈልጋለሁ ያላችሁ
so
ሰዎች
that
በሙሉ
you will
ለዛ
share
ቀን
to you.
ራሳችሁን
Those of you who have questions,
ስላላችሁ
please prepare
በእኔ
yourself for
በኩል
Friday.
የመጨረሻ ነገር የሚሆነው
And my
ማስደረግ
side, the
የምፈልገው
final thing would be
successfully ሁለት ስኬታማ
we
ቀኖችን
have done 2
ስላሳለፍን
successful
ሁሉም
days,
ሰው success generously
so
ሀሳብ ሲያካፍል ስለነበረ
everybody has
አጠገባችሁ
participated
ያለውን
well.
ሰው
Please
ባምፕ አድርጉልኝ ወይ
bump
did
to
a
the next
great
person
job
where
በሚል
you
ማለት
are.
ነው። Please bump.
So
አጠገባችሁ ያለውን ሰው አድርጉልኝ ፕሊዝ።
yes, that's very good.
ስለዚህ የመጨረሻው ነገር
That's a sign of friendship.
ከመውጣታችን
Finally,
በፊት
before we
የመጨረሻ አንድ
go out of
ሜሴጅ
the
ስላለ
room
ለእሱ
or
እንሄዳለን። Thank you so
the
much
hall,
for being an
እዚህ
amazing
በመሆናችሁ በጣም
participant.
አመሰግናለሁ።
እኔ
በጣም
ይኸው
ጥሩ ተሳታፊዎች ናችሁ።
አንድ ነገር ብቻ ለማለት ነው። የሶላት
I wanted to say one thing. Those of you, we took your prayer time. We're going to ask you excuses. So that's why I took the speaker from her. So we're not going to repeat that tomorrow.
ምን አይነት ስህተት ሰራው መሰላችሁ?
So what the
all the
mistake I
colours,
did
የሴቶች
from
colour
all
የሆነውን
the
pink
colors,
ረሳሁኝ።
I forgot the
sorry.
women's color,
ስለዚህ
which is
3 minutes
pink.
በጣም ይቅርታ የኔ ስህተት ነው።
So I'm sorry
የራሳችንን
because
colour ነው
it's my
የረሳሁት።
mistake. I
Thank you
forgot
so
my
much.
color.
የመጨረሻ presentation and then we did.
So the final
Thank you.
presentation would be
sorry.
the pink.
ስለዚህ ወደ የመጨረሻው ቲም ፒንክ ቲም
So we go to the pink session, and we have brought different responses. Sometimes it's similar response with others. The first thing is capacity building concerning the things which could be done by the Warada level, like we need to have a digital solution, we need to have application in the smartphone utilization. So we need to bring those for us, and generally we have to create awareness or develop awareness, and using different platforms, and then preparing events. We need to create awareness. This is a continuous effort that we need to do in Waradas. Mostly there is staff turnover. There's also leadership turnover as well. So in order to get this solution, we need to create a continuous awareness.
ሪጂናል ሌቭል ላይ
Thus, for example, in the regional level, what you need to do is the systems creation needs to be evaluated. And having this thing evaluated, we need to get the outcome, and we need to do on the capacity building. So the digital solution again on the regional level, it's also being utilized. So the digital solution is essential. As you know, continued general awareness is necessary at the regional level as well.
ፌዴራል ሌቨል ላይ
On the other hand, on the federal level,
ፕላትፎርም ዴቨሎፕ ማድረግ
this platform is needed to be done.
ዴቨሎፕ የተደረገ
So that's we've done in the regional level should be shared to others. So we need to disseminate it to zonal and to the grassroots level.
ሁለተኛው እዛ ጋር
So
የምናየው
what we can also see together with that is what is our communication strategy? It's something we need to see. So our communication strategy needs to exist and it has to be seen together from the external support, especially it's beyond financial support. What we need is technology and technical support.
ወደ ሁለተኛው ፕላትፎርም
When we go to the second platform and to make it that platform effective, what we do is we start from the federal level.
ፌዴራል ሌቨል ላይ ፕላትፎርም
And on the federal level, and then the platform needs to be done. It has to go or be cascaded to regions.
ካስኬድ ካደረግን በኋላ ወደ
And after doing the cascade in the region, it has to go to Warada. And after the Warada again, and it has to go with the communication system in a sustainable manner, goes to Warada. And in Warada, we have to see four things,
አለብን ምንድነው
or need to do four things.
ማፒንግ ስቴክሆልደር ማፒንግ
One is stakeholder mapping, which we need to do, as we have seen earlier in the exemplar. So in the stakeholder, who is there, in which area needed to be mapped. So in order to avoid overlapping and redundancy, we need to address all areas and we need to have fair discussions. We need to do the maps.
ስቴክሆልደሮችን ካቴጎራይዝ ማድረግ አለብን
Second one, we have to categorize the stakeholders.
መኖር አለበት ሶስተኛው
So the third one is
ፕላትፎርም መፍጠር አለበት
effective platform has to be built. This platform needs to be effective. It needs to have an MOE and TOR. And this is also needed to be on the regional level. We need to have guidelines and then it has to be cascaded to the world level. On the third one, for the better, what we're going to do is
ኢንቨንተሪ መስራት አለብን
we need to do inventory in the first place on the world level.
ምን አለን
That we have what do we have on the existing situation. We need to do the inventory and again
ኢንቨንተሪ ኢምፕሊሜንቴሽን ፕላኖችንም
and the inventory implementation plan has to be mixed together and top up and bottom top
ሚክስ አድርገን
need to be both actors need to be mixed
መስራት አለብን
and we need to do our plan.
ስትራቴጂ
And then again we need to have a strategy
ዲዛይን ማድረግ አለብን
to be designed, and after designing this strategy, well, how are you going to design it?
የትም ሌቭል ባለው
According to the status quo situation in the region, we need to do that.
ሌላው ቴክኖሎጂ
And the other one is concerning technology.
የምንፈልገው
So what we need is the technology support from external
ሌላው እዚህ ጋር ምንድነው ፌክ
part.
እንዲኖር ሬጉላር ሚቲንግ
In order to have effective cooperation, we need to have regular visits, field visits, experience sharing.
ቁም ነገሩ እዚህ ትልቁ ቁም
And the big thing is essential is what the platform we are going to build needs to have a structure.
ሆነ ኢንዱስትሪያል የሆነ
So it needs to be guided by the structure. So if we don't institutionalize it, it won't continue sustainably.
ወደ ሁለተኛ ጥያቄ ስንመጣ
And when you come to the second question, how are we going to make ourselves accountable? We have discussed that.
we have to have ክሊር የሆነ ሮል ኤንድ ሪስፖንሲቢሊቲ
ግልጽ የሆነ ሚናና ኃላፊነት ያለው የተግባቦት ሰነድ መፈራረም አለብን።
ኤምኦዩ ሁላችንም
ስለ በዚህ የተግባቦት ሰነድ አማካኝነት የራሳችንን ኃላፊነት ወስደን ወደ ተጠያቂነት የምንሄድበት ነገር አለ። On the third one is concerning DREAM. We take different ideas of stakeholders. So it came to us and we take that together for the basis of facilitation. It has to go smoothly for the facilitation and we use it for lobbying as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Team Pink. And I'm sorry once
Team
again.
Pink እንደገና በጣም አመሰግናችኋለሁኝ. How those of you who said dinner, there is dinner today too.
Thank you. ከ12 ሰዓት ተኩል ጀምሮ እስከ
And it
ማታ
starts from 6:30 up to 8 p.m. today. And one final question, what the doctor wants to ask. Let's listen to that and then we go.
Thank you so much. And I don't want to keep you away
አመሰግናለሁ። እናንተን
from
ለማቆየት
some leisure
አልፈልግም።
time and
ነገር
the
ግን
dinner.
እራት
But
እንዳትዘገዩ።
following this
ነገር ግን
overfull day with
ይሄ
information,
በጣም
discussion,
ሙሉ
and energy
ቀን
what was
የመረጃ
there, and a lot of question coming up. There was also a question coming up in my mind, and I want to give you this question. Perhaps I'm completely a side of the joke, yeah? Perhaps I don't understand the system. We were discussing, we have the skills, we have the resources. We are all throwing that to the community. What do we know from the community? That was one of the points what we have been discussing during the day. What I would like to ask you, we have, I think, 21 maps with 21 zones in the different regions where we have pastoral communities. We are always talking about these communities in the sense of they are target groups, targeted for all our good activities, what we want to do. Does not matter who of us, yeah? Do we have to understand the real needs of these communities and the real capacity gaps which are there? Do we have something similar at, say, zonal level, like dream conferences? Do we have something like that where we can better learn from the communities, where they have an honest exchange, not a workshop where you get per dimes for sitting there, not that, but where they can, where in an inclusive way, people can come together and express what they really need, and then to be confronted, the needs confronted with what is available. Do we have that in Ethiopia? If we don't have it, we should think about how we can learn more about our communities, allowing to have an adult-to-adult relationship, and not an adult-to-child relationship as it is at the moment in our minds. With this, thank you very, very much for giving me again 2 minutes, and see you later.